What's good, YouTube? It's your man Rage King back with another one. Yes, another upload to the channel. And before we get started, I ask if y'all please go down there and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button, hit that bell for notifications if you're new. Welcome to Rage Rants TV. This is how we do Rage and Rebels. Crown up. And if you're new to the crew, welcome to the Rage and Rebel Revolution. Now let's vibe. And y'all, bombshell. A bombshell we all knew was coming. It was already coming down the pipeline. It wasn't a matter of if, but a matter of when. Concerning one Ja Morant, who has been officially suspended for 25 games to start the 2023-2024 season, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. Upon his return as well, I know it's not noted in his tweet, but upon his return, he has to complete a couple of terms and complete specific programs in order to come back and play basketball. So it may even be a little bit longer than this if he doesn't do the programs necessary for him to come back. There are stipulations for him to come back, and without further ado, I'm going to show you those stipulations from the NBA issued from them to one Ja Morant upon his return. This is the official statement from the NBA concerning Ja Morant upon his reinstatement. June 16, 2023, the NBA announced today that Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant has been suspended 25 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. So for those that do not know, 25 games for his current contract, that is $12 million. That is $12 million. And then I know a lot of people will hear that and say, oh, well, that doesn't seem like a lot. That doesn't seem like a lot. But upon that $12 million he's losing, you got to also take into consideration he's going to lose possible endorsement deals. His endorsement deals, if not completely taken away from him, will at least be paused. He's going to lose a lot more than $12 million in time on the court that he can never get back. And then on top of that, the position that puts his team in upon his arrival, it's just going to make it all the worse. It's going to make it all the worse. And then on top of that, it continues. Don't get me wrong. It continues. This is bigger than just 25 game suspension. A 25-game suspension. With this 25-game suspension, according to the new CBA, you have to play a minimum of 65 NBA regular season games in order to be in contention for all NBA teams, MVP votes, and all the offseason awards. Here's why that's important: because if you're not eligible, if you're not playing at least 65 games in the NBA season and you're not eligible for those awards are how people can make the demands to get bigger contracts and max contracts. So with that being said, and then on top of that, Ja Morant was also suspended last season for 8 games, which made him ineligible. Well, not ineligible, but which completely derailed his momentum to be considered an MVP. When you can't get MVP, when you can't get first team all NBA, when you can't get certain offseason awards, you can't make demands. Your contract status completely goes down. So instead of being able to get a max contract, you're going to lose minimum 20, 30, 40, possibly even $50 million in the process. So this is bigger than just 25 games. For the people that sit there and say, oh, 25 games isn't enough, trust me, he's losing a lot more than just 25 games and $12 million, which is a lot for an NBA player, for anybody, and especially an NBA player. Let's continue. Morant posed with a firearm in a car during a live stream video on May 13th, less than 2 months after he was suspended 8 games without pay for the live streaming of a video on March 4th, which he displayed a firearm while in an intoxicated state at a Denver area nightclub. The league office found that on May 13th, Morant intentionally and prominently displayed a gun in a car with several other individuals. They were leaving. Sorry, that's really small. With several other individuals, they were leaving a social gathering in Memphis. Morant wielded the firearm while knowing that he was being recorded and that the recording was being live streamed on Instagram Live. Stay off of social media if y'all gonna do dumb shit. You shouldn't be doing dumb shit, but stay off of social media. Despite having made commitments to the NBA and public statements that he would not repeat the conduct for which he was previously disciplined. On May 16th, Morant issued a statement taking full accountability for his actions. So that's another lesson to y'all. If you're gonna say you're gonna do something and say you're not gonna do something, keep your word. Your word is your bond, specifically if you are a man. I don't give a damn how anybody else try to tell you what a man should be in this society. As a man and born a man, and y'all know what the hell I'm talking about, if you're gonna say you're gonna do something or you say you're not gonna do something, be a man of your word. Because if you're a man and you don't have your word, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Morant's suspension begins immediately and will remain in effect through the first 25 games of the 2023-2024 NBA regular season for which he is otherwise eligible and able to play. He will also be required to meet certain conditions before he returns to play and will be ineligible to participate in any public league or team activities, including preseason games, during the course of his suspension. Ja Morant's decision to once again wield a firearm on social media is alarming and discerning, giving his similar conduct in March, in which he was already suspended 8 games, said NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The potential for young people to emulate Ja's conduct is particularly concerning. Under these circumstances, we believe a suspension of 25 games is appropriate, and to make clear that engaging in reckless and irresponsible behavior with guns will not be tolerated. For Ja, basketball seems to take a backseat at this time. Prior to his return to play, he will be required to formulate and fulfill a program with the league that directly addresses the circumstances that led him to repeat this destructive behavior. And that is the end of the statement and the criteria that he would need per the NBA. Please forgive me for reading that. The text was extremely small, even on my computer. I know it's probably going to be hard for y'all to see. That's why I went ahead and read it out myself. But it's even hard for me to see on my computer, and my screen is not even 2 feet away from my face. But with that being said, Ja, I will say this, man. I hope you bounce back from this. I'm rooting for you, and I know a lot of I'm not. Because people have to understand too. And I'm not condoning anything when he thought he shouldn't have done it. He was dead wrong, and he should be suspended to 25 games. But I will say this, people, let's not act like we all had our head on straight at 22 and 23 years old. The brother is not even old enough to legally get a drink in this day and age. He was 10 years ago, but in this day and age, he's not even old enough to buy alcohol. You understand what I'm saying? So he's not, I understand he's an adult, but you got to understand, he's still young. He's still young. Like, you got to understand, like, these kids come from nothing. And then all of a sudden they're given hundreds of millions of dollars and a place to be role models out of nowhere. Again, I'm not condoning or making excuses for the young man. I'm just simply saying we got to understand also, y'all, he's a young man. I mean, let's also be honest, for the people that watch this video and the people that have so much to say about Ja Morant, bro, a lot of y'all have done a lot of things that you just weren't on camera doing. And let's also be honest, that's really what he got in trouble for doing. Not for what he did, it's the fact that he did it on camera. If he wasn't doing this on camera, are we even having this conversation? Exactly my point. Guys, he probably can't even believe that this is his life right now. The guy's 23 years old. He's not the smart. What person that's in their 20s was going to be, and I'll even be honest, I just made 30, and to be honest, I'm still making stupid ass mistakes. Not to the degree of this, but I still make mistakes even at this day and age. So you can't tell me. And then I was broke when I made my mistakes, and I was being stupid in my 20s. So I can only imagine giving me hundreds of millions of dollars and then being told to be a role model. Some people get it, some young men get it, but in this case, he just didn't get it. He just doesn't understand. I don't think that this makes Ja a bad person. I just think he was a young man that made another stupid mistake. I also will say this, Ja, stop it. All right, you're not a kid anymore. All right, you gotta get it together. You gotta get it together and keep it together. All right, you not regular old Ja no more. You are an NBA superstar. You are an influencer. You are worth hundreds of millions of dollars now. You have to move different. The circle that you keep around you, that keep for some reason wanting to put everything y'all do on camera and want to engage in that foolishness, got to change, bruh. It's got to change. You were too talented, just like I did in the video when you got suspended the first time. You were too talented to let this kind of crap keep happening. Okay? And if you out in public and anything, boy, if you don't hide your damn phone, put the phone away. Stop playing with the guns. Ja, you are too important to the NBA. You are too important to your family, more important. And you should be your future And what you're doing should be way too important. It should be big. What you're doing is bigger than you. All right. I get it. You're young. You can't believe this your life. You got hundreds of millions of dollars that you done made, and you got hundreds of millions of dollars coming your way. I get it. I understand it. But you got to move different, bro. You got to move different. You can't be out here doing that. You can't be out here doing that. I understand it may look fun or whatnot, but you got to understand, bro. You are too important to be putting yourself in that position. Change your circle, change your behaviors, and when you come back with a vengeance and make sure that this never happens again, okay? Make sure it never happens again. I'm rooting for you. I know I'm going to get some heat for that. I really don't give a damn, but I'm rooting for him. I don't think that Ja Morant's a knucklehead. I don't think he's a bad person or anything like that. I just think he's a young kid that got a whole bunch of money and can't believe that this is his life right now. I think he's a young man that just simply did not understand his position in the world right now. And that happens. That could happen to anybody. It just so happened that this time, yet again, it was him. But understand this, Ja. You already on strike 2. Do not allow yourself to strike out with strike 3, because strike 3, I guarantee you, if they don't kick you out the league, you will miss an entire season. So please, I'm rooting for you. Stop with the foolishness. Get back to what matters, and that is playing basketball and being the best basketball player in this generation's Derrick Rose that you're supposed to be. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this Ja Morant suspension. Do you agree with it? Do you think it should have been more? Do you think it was the right amount of time? Do you think Ja Morant would change from this? Let me know down in the comment section, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.